Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm not watching the other channel, and unfortunately, I'm on a mobile phone right now. But anyhow, thank you for joining us today. It's been a long time coming. I know you and I were talking quite a bit back in the day, Brenton, when right after NFTLA, isn't that where we met? It is, right? I
Yeah,
think it was.
what's that?
Yeah, it was NFTLA. I remember now.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we were outside talking, and I think I was rolling around with a big lawyer. And we ran into you guys, and yeah, we just kind of kicked the conversation off from there. But would you mind just doing kind of a quick introduction of who you are, and introducing Monks to Brenton, and we can kind of kick it off from there.
Sure. My name is Brenton, and I'm with a company called PhygiCards. And essentially, what we do is PhygiCards is actually a play on the word phygital, which is the concept of using technology to bridge the digital and the physical worlds. And so, what we have done is we have made NFT trading cards, but then we actually print the physical twin and link it back to the NFT using our patent pending technology and mail you the physical card that you keep along with the NFT that you buy. I will post in this thing just a quick link here that demos that in just a second. But the team that I've got, the co-founders and I've got two other co-founders, we're all trading card industry veterans. All of us used to work for the Upper Deck company, and a couple of us have worked for other major card manufacturers, but combined, we've got over 50 years in the trading card industry. And, we first saw NFTs come out about a year and a half ago or so. The one that we saw was the Gronkowski drop. And that kind of piqued the interest a little bit because they looked like trading cards, but we knew that we could do a lot better. And so I will show this little quick demo video that I've got. Will show kind of how it works in action. And I'll put this in here. So if you
So
play
you
that,
guys, yeah, sorry, I'll let you talk. Sorry.
no, go ahead. The questions are good.
So you guys all came from Upper Deck, right? You and
Yeah,
the other two founders. So
yeah.
when you guys saw NFTs, were you guys like super infuriated and said, "God damn, these things! There's so much better way to do this."
Well, part of it was, I mean, quite frankly, when I saw the Gronkowski thing, I didn't even know what an NFT was. And so I had to spend some time to educate myself as to what was going on. And I was just like, man, based on the experience and some buddies of mine that I can call, I think there's an opportunity here to basically revolutionize the entire trading card industry, because you've got, the digital world with NFTs, and then you've got your traditional trading card guys that are very, very reluctant to get into the digital because of the fact that they're so used to holding something in their hand, going to trade shows, trading with their friends, getting them graded, all those different things. And we want to be the company that's going to bridge these two industries and essentially create a new product category that's going to blow both of them away. And
So this
so,
touches point. Yeah,
yeah,
I was just gonna say that technology itself, though, is something that you guys have been working on exclusively, which is really just tying the physical to the digital, correct?
right, right. And so, I mean, we essentially use an NFC chip in our cards, which is the same technology that drives Apple Pay and Google Pay. So every phone's got it. You don't need a special app. You basically just scan the card like it shows in that demo video, and it brings back the NFT listing that correlates to the specific card that you're holding in your hand.
It verifies it right then and there.
Right,
Make sure that,
exactly.
yeah.
And so
Okay, so
we started off with this project for Thatcher, which is the player that is in those cards. And full disclosure is Thatcher's my kid. He's the goalie for the Vancouver Canucks. So it was a little easy to get them under contract. But we were able to create 4 different designs of the cards. And we went out and found sports artists that are big in the current industry that most of them had worked for this Tops project that does art-based cards. And part of that reasoning was because we're unlicensed, like we don't have a license from the NHL or the Players Union. And so, all of our cards that we did for Thatcher are unlicensed. And so we came out with the silver version and the gold version, and I'm getting a link to show you some of these.
Yeah, I think you've actually hit on quite a big point there about licensing. And have you guys found it? Have you guys encountered that issue with NFT communities about IP and stuff? So, like, as far
Say that again, please.
so like certain NFT communities, like Bored Apes, they have all these derivative and IP propositions that they give. I just didn't know if that was also something that was like a hurdle, or if you had any deeper conversations with any bigger communities about how that works.
Yeah, well, so the evolution of this is we actually launched Thatcher's project back in the fall, and originally the silver cards were just trading cards. The link went back to our website. They were not NFTs. The gold versions were the NFT ones. And, we learned a very, very hard lesson about community building because we didn't have one. We were just kind of relying on some of the stuff that
Yeah.
we had fallen back on in the trading card industry. And so we basically, you know, took our project down, and we're going to relaunch it at some time in the future. But what we're doing now, and it kind of touches on the question that you had, is that we are going out to NFT projects that convey commercial IP rights. And we are going to buy NFTs from those communities and essentially create PhygiCards from those projects. And I think I explained that right.
Yeah. No,
So
I
with
get
that,
it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I totally understand it. That's a freaking good idea. It's a good little strategy.
well, so our first one and is the Lazy Lions. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that project,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Lazy Lions.
their community is crazy. I mean, they've got 140,000 people in Discord. It seems like they're trending on Twitter every single day. And one of the things that they've done is that they have created all these subgroups, like our lion, which I will show you here in a second. Our lion is a zombie lion, which I think there's only 700 of them. But there's like ones that just have different color hats, sports jerseys, all these different things. And all these guys are starting to do like there's Lazy Lions hot sauce. I mean, they're starting to do it with the commercial IP rights. And so there's a photo of our lion in the chat
Yep,
thing,
there it is. Yep.
and I will show you for the first time. I will show you our base card that we just got today. And so when it loads, we're going to have 4 different versions because we are basically following the same type of parallel set and insert card set strategies that are current in the trading card industry. And so, like our red card, for example, that one will not be limited edition. We're only doing 175 of those. But then there's going to be one that has a purple foil on it, and those will be limited edition to 15. And then we will have a one of one. And there's all subtle tweaks to all the different designs to make them a little bit different from the previous one. And and so our goal with this is that we are doing a small 265 card set using Lazy Lion. And we're in the process of getting our Mint page developed and our website and all that. And we are going to market this heavily within the Lazy Lions community and all of the communities that have partnerships with the Lazy Lions. And assuming we sell out, then we will take some of those proceeds and buy additional lions and come out with a much broader set. And on the flip side, we'll start doing other small tests like that within other communities that we've identified that convey commercial rights and have very, very active communities that are really, really promoting, other merchandise, whether it's, t-shirts, hot sauce, you name it. But the
I mean,
difference with it's actually an NFT that you'll mint it just like you do any other one. And then after we reach a sell-through threshold, we'll print and fulfill all the cards.
gotcha. What's the threshold? 250?
It's usually like 50%, 50 to
Oh,
70%.
okay.
It's, ideally we'd like to sell out before we print, but,
Of course.
it doesn't require a full sellout, and we'll monitor that. And, if we're close to it, we may just decide to pull the trigger and do it.
So how does that work when you have NFT? I mean, I just have to think that has to be kind of a pain in the ass because all NFTs, not all, but I say a majority of NFTs are always sold on their uniqueness. And when you go to print stuff and it's absolutely unique, there's a high premium for that. No?
No, there is, but within this, like for example, this red NFT, this red foil one, there'll be 175 of those. So it's not going to be ultimately unique. Now we're still deciding if we're going to utilize the ERC 1155 just to have all of the cards linked to just one listing, or list each 175 out with their own NFT, like the other format. It's escaping me.
Yeah, ERC 721.
Right.
Yeah, Monk's contract is ERC 1155. It could do all of that. Just saying.
Yeah. No. Well,
That's
no.
like we built it to be a product.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we're curious about, and part of the reasons here, and I actually have a little survey, a link to a survey, is that we own 5 monks. Patrick, after I met you at the show, it took me a little while to understand what crypto monks were all about. And
I think we're still trying to figure that one out, but yeah.
But yeah, so I bought my first one, and then I started learning and sitting in on all the trainings and everything. And I think within 2 to 3 weeks, I bought 4 more. And so, part of it is I will send out this questionnaire, but we're looking for feedback if the monks community would get behind a project like this, even if it's a smaller one. Because I know that we don't have 100,000 people in our Discord just yet. But we've got. Let me just see if I've got some
This is probably the perfect place for that. Yeah, like I was gonna say, this is probably the right place for that. So we are, we're looking at. Well, I would say we, but I talked to Eli, who is probably one of my people I lean on the hardest here, this kind of stuff, about how monks, what it means to be, what the IP means and how people can use it and how we as a community operate as well. Because we're really, really trying to think long term what's best for the group, right? And so I've been a major fan of trying to get physical products in here as best as I can. And it's been really, really tough because it was supposed to be one of our founders also had the store that they're trying to launch and get a bunch of stuff on it. But in the meantime, I knew that, I think I actually tried to connect you guys. Maybe you guys did talk, actually. I don't know if you guys were actually able to connect, but this is a huge thing to us. I mean, it's not necessarily that we want physical product to sell because we just want to, have money come in and, take money out of the community. That's not really the idea. The physical part of it is really just part of the tokenization of these assets. Like, I would for sure get a bunch of my Monks 209 fucking cards made, and I will hand them out everywhere. Right? Like, I want that to be my business card. If it's a PhygiCard, and I've got a bunch of these things, I'll use that as my business card, dude. That to me is the ultimate representation of what a PFP slash avatar slash fucking NFT should be, right? But anyways, that's why when I was talking to you, I'm like, well, first of all, you showed me the cards and they were absolutely beautiful. You guys did a really, really good job. And the foil on them was fucking awesome. And I think we didn't even talk about your artists because you've got really, really good artists too. But all of a sudden I was like, yep, that's what I want. I want one. You know what I mean? I saw it. I'm like, I'm gonna make my shit look good just like that. That's what I want, right? So it wasn't a hard sell for me on behalf of that. But I've been really, really excited to have this conversation. I know how hard you're working on it. I know there's going to be, especially with these NFT communities, a lot of opportunity in what you're doing. But, again, it's got to be strategic. You got to have experience. This isn't something that just anybody could do, especially when it comes to the experience that you guys have. But, yeah, so I was going to say, though, that was my inspiration in this conversation was really the physical aspect of it and what I wanted to do with your guys' cards. So, like I said, this is probably one of the best communities to start out at.
Yeah, so one of the things that we are not is a print on demand service. And so it's not something that will ever be, well, I shouldn't say ever, but right now we are not in a position where we could ever just have somebody come and say, hey, I want, like 10 cards of my own monk, for example.
Yep.
And so one of the things that I'm working on is, and again, this is kind of a project by project thing because all of the terms of service for these different projects are a little bit different. But we are also looking into a project or a program where, let's say that we're going to do a monk set using the 5 monks that I own, and you want to include your monk. Is we're working on a transfer license agreement where you'll be able to transfer the IP rights of your monk to us so we can include it in our set in exchange for a royalty payment to you. And so that way, because like for Bored Apes, for example, I don't have 100 grand laying around to buy one. But if there's 10 Bored Ape owners that want to transfer their rights to me or sublicense me or whatever the terminology is, then that would be a way that we could do that and target some of these NFT projects that are extraordinarily expensive, or also just give other people another way to monetize their NFT just as part of our set. And so hope maybe someday we'll get to the print on demand, but just with us having to do the chips embed them in the cards right now, that's just not possible.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be. So I'm saying I would treat mine like a business card and print tons of those things. I know they're not cheap, right? But yeah, I see how that works, and yeah, I see why that makes sense too. And yeah, you probably have to be very selective about the ones that you can do that with, right? Because you have to almost make sure, because you are doing physical, which means there's labor, there's costs of goods, everything else that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
What does that look like though? I mean, what are you guys able to do? What's the top-notch quality cards that you guys could put out?
You mean like quantities or just?
No. That's like quality-wise. I've seen. The reason I say is because I've actually seen your cards. I think they look awesome. I think I saw your hockey cards
Yeah. So I mean,
in person.
we we are targeting high-end cards, and so the ones that you saw are 72 point. Like a regular card that you might get in a pack, if it wasn't a special insert card or something like that, might be 24 point. And I mean, we're using the same printers, the same foil guys that the major companies are using. I mean, so our cards are just as high quality or better than what you would find in a pack of Topps cards or Upper Deck cards or Leaf cards or Panini cards. And so, I mean, these are the real deal. And one of the other questions that we also get is, why the NFC chip? And a lot of people just say, oh, you can put a QR code on there. And coming from a trading card background like myself and co-founders have, I mean, it's in our DNA. And putting a QR code on a trading card, I mean, that's like blasphemous almost. And so we definitely wanted to get away from that. DC Comics is actually doing some trading card NFTs, but they're using a QR code. The card thickness is the same as a playing card. So it's the same thickness as like the Ace of Spades. And one side of the card is just a big QR code. And they're selling that and it links to an NFT. And, I saw those guys at the NFT LA show and, showed them what I was doing and the look on their face was kind of funny. But
Yeah, I know. Hey, we got one question here from Hogs, and it's probably about NFC chips, if I know Hogs. Hogs, you got your mic on there, buddy?
Yeah. So for the NFC stuff, my big thing is the security and the uniqueness of that. Like a QR code, right? Anyone can copy a QR code, but anyone can also just copy NFC. You can get a reader and writer off of Amazon for like $50, and you could just read an NFC chip and you can copy the same thing. I've actually done it for key cards for my work. I've made multiple key cards which are NFC. So how do you guys
Yeah.
deal with that uniqueness aspect and that security with NFC?
we actually lock all the chips, so you can read them, but you can't write on them.
Right,
And
but
so
I could get my own chip. I could read yours, and I could write yours to my own chip and make a whole bunch of NFTs. Now the uniqueness and the beauty of NFTs is the uniqueness, the digital authentication of ownership. And if you can copy someone's card, then you're losing that aspect.
So, but I think the difference here, though, is really just if the IP is tied to it or not. Just like you can right click a JPEG and copy it. Same thing with an NFT, right? I mean, that's technically the same thing, right?
well,
I can go on OpenSea, right click, copy the image. Now I have the image. It's no longer a unique image. It's kind
Sure,
of the
but
same
the
thing.
uniqueness, then why even have the NFC at all, right? Because if I can just copy it, then what
No, because
makes it?
it's just the
What
reference. That's
links
it.
it?
I mean, it's just the reference. So
Okay, so it's
it's
not like a one-to-one correspondence between the NFT and the card itself. I thought that was the goal. Maybe I misunderstood.
it is.
no. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'll let you talk on that. I will be
It is.
quiet.
And so the link on the card links to the OpenSea listing page. So when you scan, it will take you to that page. If you want to copy my NFC code, feel free. I mean, you're not going to put it on a card that's same quality as mine.
Okay, so
And
I thought you guys were claiming that like the physical card also had like
No.
a one-to-one relationship with the actual NFT itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
what he's saying is that you can't make, yeah. So I think the conversation here is a little off. What Hogs is saying is that you can't have another NFC that points to the same OpenSea link if it was a true one-to-one. Whereas what Brenton's saying is, well, it is because we're pointing to the original one, and the actual physical card itself, if it has the IP transferred with it, like I think that's kind of the big thing here is that he's trying to work with projects where the IP ownership is transferred to the extent where when he makes a sale, he can share a royalty with you. right? So and yeah, you can go make copies of cards all day long. And, you can't really stop people from doing that. If you have a decent printer and if it's not foil, you can just print cards all day long and slap NFCs on them for sure. But that's also it's doing what you would have to have in order to do that, Hogs, is a signed transaction from the wallet to the IP holder using some kind of X500 standard. And it's basically like a chain of custody of IP that would have to go along with it. And it would have to be something that acted more like a private key to unlock something behind that. So there are ways to do it. Is it necessary for this? Probably not, because the way he's talking about it is being able to print multiple cards of the same. Like he's got a lion, he's going to sell 200 of them. They're all going to be the same. Is that correct, Brenton?
Yes. So if you
Okay.
scroll up to,
Okay, so all 200 of those cards point to the same unique NFT hash.
Yes.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now some of our cards are limited edition and are crash numbered on the card itself. And so, for example, we have a purple foil one there's only 15 of those. And on the face of the card, let me just see if I can put the image of that up here. It actually says like 1 of 15 stamped on there. And so that card will go specifically to the 1 of 15 one.
It would be sick though. What I was just thinking, because I know what Hogs is thinking too with that. What if you had to actually stake the NFT in order to make the physical version of it somewhere? So that way you couldn't, if it was and it was tied to it and it couldn't be moved until the physical came back into the digital and the physical card was either destroyed or returned, that would be fucking dope.
Yeah, and trading card games where you have like a 1-to-1 correspondence where you like buy the physical card and then you can use it online in the online version of the game. Like that kind of stuff would be really
that
awesome.
would be really, really freaking awesome, right? Like really, really dope. So yeah, I mean, that's why I get excited about it. It's just you have to have these types of people who are making quality products in order to make that stuff reality.
And so, when we get going with this, the other thing that we've figured out for our chips, and this is part of our patent pending, is that I can remotely change where that chip directs. And so, for example, today, if you scan your card and it takes you to your NFT listing page, if I want to announce a new drop or I want to sell something else or just whatever I want to communicate with the people that own these cards, I can change where that link directs for a time period, what promotional time or whatever it is, where, it could be something where you order a display case for the card or whatever it is at some special discount, and then a week later change the link back to the NFT that it's linked to. And so I can truly make the physical card an interactive gateway and a communication tool as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I already knew that about NFC because it's a tuple. It's an address and a pointer is basically what an NFC is. But yeah, that's an interesting little use case there. I'd have to think about. It would be like as if you could take, let's say, if you knew that you own the ownership in the IP for a specific card, but let's say if you wanted to use a monk in some other game and you did that, that'd be fucking dope. I can see how that would apply. That'd be very interesting to see how that would work out. That's actually, oh shit, I just had a crazy idea. I'm gonna sit on this one for a second. Because monks have 3 different eras for each one, right? Which means you could have technically 3 different pointers. Part of the same, oh shit. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. Okay.
And so our strategy going forward, this first Lazy Lions drop that we're doing is, that's our main focus right now. And once we get through that, then we will start another 265 card test with another entity, another project. Could be the Crypto Monks. Because the way that we're going to do our site is that we're going to have placeholders or a way to just plug in new drops to it as we expand. And then, we will approach the Lazy Lions community, the co-founders there, to see if they want to partner with us and potentially provide us with some totally unique lions that would be used only with PhygiCards. And then also, going out to people that own other NFTs that might want to transfer their rights. And so at some point in the future, after we are a little bit more established, we will circle back to athletes. And there are some other projects out there that do have several athletes under contract already. And, those might be some partnerships that will identify going forward, because those types of projects typically would not convey an IP or any commercial IP rights at all. But they have access to all those athletes already. And so at that point, we would almost be like an additional project within their project to add another revenue stream, collectability stream to their project already. And so, part of it, especially with the Lazy Lions, we're kind of hoping that this little first one is such a hit that the co-founders of that project would want to partner with us on a bigger scale.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it, man. Knitting and purling. Got to tie these things together with a bunch of different communities. I was going to say too, just a heads up, but Monks is launching a 3,333 piece set for Splinterlands, which I know you've talked to them in the past, and it's all going to be on Ethereum.
Yeah.
They partnered with us in order to do that, so it's a very interesting little, possibility there as well.
Yeah, well, I'd love to talk to you more about that. You were the one that told me to go talk to Splinterlands originally, and I have been talking to them. And originally, and I don't think I can give away too many details because it's still kind of in the works, but they originally did a promo card with a guy. He's a rapper guy named Waka Flocka Flame.
Yep.
And they blew it out of the park. I mean, they sold these things for an obscene amount of money. There weren't a ton of them, maybe 2,000 total. Well, they had another celebrity that they were going to do a promo card with, and they were going to do 20,000 of them. And we were going to be their partner. And, they had the proposal in hand, but the celebrity that they chose, not the best guy out in the NFT space. And rugged some people and just, wasn't the best celebrity partner to have. And so they put the project on hold to try to find another celebrity partner. And then, the crypto crash kind of got in the way. And so this promo card project with them is on hold until 2023. But they have a very, very high level of interest, at least from the promo card standpoint. And if we can somehow get us inserted into the Crypto Monk project with them, that would be icing on the cake.
So what do you guys, I don't think, well, first of all, that was before I started working at Splinterlands. And then I was going to say, the reason I wanted to bring you to Monks was because I knew you were talking to them and I knew how those conversations were going. And I knew that I had my own little devious plans in the background of how physical and digital ties together, and this all kind of fits into it. But I think, though, for sure, there's opportunity. So let me throw this back at you real quick. And unfortunately, I have to get running here pretty soon. So you guys are obviously welcome to keep the stage going, but I'll have to leave here in a couple minutes. What are you looking for? Like, what do you guys need? Is it you just need a customer? Are you guys looking for investors? Are you guys looking? Because I just want this to be thrown out there so that there's a clear ask, right? Like how we can participate. So what is it? What are you guys looking for?
Well, I think right now, I mean, a great thing would be for everybody to fill out the very brief questionnaire that I had, just because it just kind of gives some insights as to, if this type of project is even something that the CryptoMonks community would be interested in, like buying a CryptoMonks trading card NFT, physical trading card NFT.
Yep.
Beyond that, I mean, I'm looking for like a Discord community manager, because that is way outside my my skill sets, I guess. Um,
Yep.
and I think that once we do the Lazy Lions launch, we're gonna it's gonna be a very, very, in our face, like how successful we may or may not be with this. If it's very well received, then I anticipate that I could probably use some investment money, because I've been bootstrapping this, and we will get some revenues from the sales of our Lazy Lion NFTs. And the beauty of doing this, like with the Lazy Lions thing, is I don't owe any royalties to them, because I own my lion, and so I don't. Working with an athlete, I was paying those guys quite a bit of royalty and revenue share and all that kind of thing. And so, I think part of it is going to be, I'll probably need some marketing help, and then just introduction to other communities. Like, I know that you've done one of the communities I'm targeting is Sup Ducks, and I know that you've talked to them before. But just introductions to other communities that we've identified, because one of the things that we're really trying to do is create, or not create, but expand on the non-trading card category, or the non-sports trading cards. Because I'm not going to get a Major League Baseball license. I'm not getting a football license, because those exclusive licenses, with individual companies. And so for me to do sports, I've got to be unlicensed. But in the world of NFTs, I don't have to worry about that. And so introductions to other projects that either want to partner and do like a co-branded project, that would be huge, just because then I'm fully endorsed by the project itself. And I think that's really it for right now, because we're truly just so focused on getting this Lazy Lions thing done, to give us that litmus test as to where we stand.
Absolutely. I think that, yeah. So get one and done, right? You just need to get one right now.
And
That's it.
and PJ, you know this a lot more than I would, but just based on raising money and all that other kind of stuff, I think that if I get one and we sell out, I mean, that's kind of the proof that the investors need, that I've got some traction and I've got a sellable product.
That's it. Not even that. I think what you're going to find is that a lot of these communities have enough money to help you, raise money. That's it. Like the dynamic is changing. I'm telling you, the whole dynamic is changing. You get in with these communities and you show that you're able to create something that people want, and that there's a need for it, and it's all part of this space in general. There's like I said earlier, a lot of these communities have enough money to help you do that, right? And you're going to have to get a little bit from each one, but that's how it typically works in the beginning. That's how Series Seed investments work. You get 10,000 here, 5,000 here. Every once in a while, you get a 50,000 or 75,000, or maybe you just get one guy that comes in with 750 grand, right? You just never know, but it's a numbers game, right? And so I think when people see what it does, especially for communities that are still active and still pumping and still putting stuff out, that are good communities, right? They're not just taking money from people. We crutch on big communities too. There's no doubt about it. Like, we spend hardly any money on marketing, right? and we try to keep as much money as we can in our DAO as possible. And we crutch on other communities pretty fucking hard. Wilder World, Sup Ducks, Chibi Dinos, they were all very, very important to us when we launched. But I can tell you right now that there's, we're starting to talk to a lot more, right? Now we've got Splinterlands, we've got a couple other big ones that are really, really just kind of teetering on the edge there. But everything's moving. Everything, especially right now, it's much easier to get a hold of the people that matter because everybody's looking for something new and different. And this is just another avenue where that makes a lot of sense, right?
Right.
So I would say you're in a good spot. We can help you try to nail that first deal. And, I've already filled out the form that you put in there. So hopefully I'm the first, hopefully not the last either. So if you guys get a chance, please, fill that out. But let me see here. Do we have any other questions from the community too? Because unfortunately, Brenton, I got to get going. I have some family I got to take care of here. But Henry, Staggs, do you guys have any questions, or is there any questions from the community? I got to kind of duck out here in just a sec. I see questions on the actual AMA questions channel here. Yeah, I would say Winter Spark like Magic, huh? Magic Gathering, Pokemon, all of those things. That's where this really, really comes in, right?
Yeah, my
So let's see
only
here.
two are going to be the licensing. So somebody within the Pokemon world, I don't think they're doing NFTs just yet. And that's interesting because that's an in-person collectible card game, and
Yep.
it's I mean, I have had discussions with the new anime collectible card game that's starting their production. And they were talking like 2 million units at one point. And so, again, it's just those introductions, like you said, and meeting with the people that, once they see the product and understand the utility of it, are willing to incorporate this into their project, whether it's a collectible card game or, because we're gonna do a whole collecting thing where, if you have one of the base cards and the purple insert card, and you keep that staked until a certain date, that you're going to win some collector rewards from us. And it could be future whitelists, it could be additional NFTs. I mean, we are going to put a lot of utility into collecting the whole set. And then, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you zoom in on the purple foil card that I put there, in the background, in the picture frame, there's actually an image of a stuffy bunny, which is one of the other NFTs that we own. And so we can embed, images of other projects into ones just to cross-pollinate, and who knows, maybe in the future Lazy Lion set, there could be an insert card that features a Crypto Monk. And in order for you to earn the collector rewards for the Crypto Monk cards, you've got to go buy, some of the cards in this other project because you need that one to finish your set. And so, we really want to put the collecting back into it.
Yeah, you're going to find a lot of completionists in here. A lot of completionists who are trying to finish their sets. And if you put this as part of the set, it's just got to be there. People are going to want.
And so, we'll get into the trading card shows and all that other kind of stuff as well, and start hosting events and that kind of thing. And the last thing that we're working on, that I'll just touch on this before you go, Patrick, is we are working on a way where I can sell you the physical card first, and when you scan it with your phone, that's when you mint or somehow get the NFT into your wallet. And so
yeah, that's what I was hoping to hear.
Yeah, and so once we figure that out, I'll take over the industry, the trading card industry, because the hobby stores and the dealers in the traditional market, they're hesitant to get into NFTs because they don't understand the digital and they don't know how to make money off of it. And if I can give them a box of physical NFT trading cards and they sell those to their customers, and their customers get the NFT in their wallet after the fact, I'll crush it. I will sub-license my technology to all the major companies.
I can tell you that I already know how to do it. Me and my old partner Jonas worked on this a very long time ago because we were planning on selling something similar to Dolce and Gabbana and to Prada. It's all the major luxury brands. There is a way to do it. It's a single signing certificate that allows you to claim it as long as you have a valid wallet address. You can do it. You have to have the physical product in order to do so. So I do have to get going, unfortunately. Stags, are you on here?
Sir.
All right. You want to take questions if there are any? I got to get going, unfortunately. Brenton, it's always a pleasure, and I'll be seeing you here hopefully pretty soon, actually. I'm headed down your way. Hopefully soon. I got a couple people in that area I definitely need to catch up with. But I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in here and giving us the opportunity to listen to this. And again, it's always a pleasure, bud.
All right. Yeah, when you come down, get a hold of me. I'll talk to you.
I will. All right. Take care, guys.
Yep, thanks.
Yes. So we got one question here from Winterfox. He wants to know, how do we invest in this?
I'll keep you posted on that. I will, when we get to that point, if we decide to open this up, then obviously the monks are going to be the first community that I come to.
And there was another question. I'm not sure if you answered it or not. You said you needed a CM. We might have someone for you. It's Miss Lynn, very good at what she does. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think you've answered most of the other questions.
The other thing that I will say that I will have a whitelist for this, for the Lazy Lions drop. And so when I start doing that, I will offer some spots to the monks community and just put the sign up list or whatever, or coordinate with whoever I'm supposed to with the monks on how to do that.
Perfect. Yes. When that time happens, just open up a ticket, and Henry deals with all of the whitelist allocations.
Okay.
We were coming up close to the hour. Anyways, do you have any final sort of things you want to throw out there before we wrap this up? I don't see any other questions coming through.
No, I don't. But what I will do is, I'll take a look at all the surveys that we get back, and what we will probably do after we are a little bit further along with our Lazy Lions drop is we will actually create some Crypto Monks cards. The ones that I posted in here were ones that I did, not my card guy. I do not have the same level of talent that he does. But we might even just do like a pre-project thing just to get feedback on the card designs and just see if it would even be worth doing a little 265 card set for the monks. And so, I anticipate that maybe happening in the next month to 6 weeks maybe. And just I'll circle back with you guys when we're ready to show some of the monks cards that we've created. And I'm also working with Eli to make sure that we have the rights to do it.
Perfect. Well, we just want to say thank you for coming out here today. And I see Eli typing. Let's see what he says. But we appreciate you coming out and letting us know about PhygiCards. And yeah, it sounds super exciting.
I appreciate it. I truly appreciate this opportunity.
Just wait and see what Eli has to say, and then we'll wrap this up. Yeah. So he said, "Excellent presentation. Excited to work with you."
Yeah, well, he's been helping me out with some of my other legal stuff, so I know that everything that I'm doing is above board. I appreciate everybody's feedback and questions. And if there's more after this, just send me a message, or my my email is just brenton@PhygiCards.io, and I'm available. So I truly appreciate it, and I'll just be keeping you guys updated as we progress.
Beautiful. Yeah, perfect. All right, Brendan, thanks so much for coming out today, and Monks, thanks for giving up your guys' time as well to hear about Brenton's project PhygiCards.